Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. Today's video will be a big surprise to a lot of you, and a few of you won't be surprised, but we haven't told very many people in the real world about what we're doing, but we are embarking on a new journey for our family to expand our family. So we are adopting embryos. I know, right? Many of you probably have no idea what that means, but if you're aware of what IVF is, it's the process usually creates lots more embryos than a couple will end up using. So the couple then has to pay storage fees for their embryos. They're already created little, beginnings of babies that sit in frozen storage for years, and they have to pay their storage fees every year until they figure out what to do with them, unless they want to destroy them, which like for me, I couldn't kill my babies. I couldn't do that, and a lot of parents can't. So you're stuck with figuring out what to do with them. So you can donate them back to your clinic, and they will use it for their program to implant in other women, or you can find a donor yourself, or a recipient, yourself, and donate your embryos to them. And anyways, it's a problem. There's thousands and thousands and thousands of embryos frozen in the United States alone that don't have anywhere to go, and they're just frozen for years. So we've been looking into this for many months, and we really want to give Ruby a black sibling. And even though we've been home study ready and trying to adopt for 10 months now, we have not had a successful match. Now, we are not giving up hope of adopting, but we are trying to get a more sure bet of making sure that Ruby has a black sibling. So we chose a clinic, and they have their own embryo bank, and they let white couples adopt black embryos if they have black children already. So we adopted, a batch of embryos. It's actually 5 embryos. 2 are frozen together, 1 is frozen, and then 2 are frozen. So we don't know if we'll do the 1 or the 2 on the first try. That's between me and my doctor. We'll decide it closer to the date. But we just started all the process and picked the embryos, and we today I'm actually going to get my blood drawn. So I've started the birth control pill. That's step 1. Getting blood drawn, have to get a pap smear, have to do this weird sonogram thing. It's called a saline sonogram. Have to do that. And then when all that goes over to the clinic, then they schedule my transfer days. So so this is what we're starting. And first step is really today getting my blood drawn. So just got back from getting my blood drawn. Yeah. And now I gotta go home to all my millions of children. And yeah. Mm. So today I had to get a saline sonogram, which is required by my clinic. I don't know if every clinic requires it, but they check your uterus for fibroids and whatnot. So it was very quick, painless. They said I would cramp. There was no cramping. It was super easy, super fast. $600 for like them to do pretty much nothing, but c'est la vie, drop in the bucket. The guy was like, "Why are you going with this clinic?" The one that we're going with. And he said, "Well, you could get a black baby just with sperm donation." Like, you could get a biracial child that way. Yes, that was not what we chose to do. I tried to explain to him that we wanted to, this was in lieu of having another biological child or creating a new child. We were trying to, adopt a child already created. So, but super nice guy. Said my uterus looked great. So yay, passed the test. All I have left to do is a regular pap smear before we would start the protocol preparing for the transfer. So I'm really excited. I can't talk to anyone in my clinic right now because they are in the middle of a hurricane. So they're closed down for today and tomorrow. And she sent me an email early this morning. She's like, "Sorry, can't answer any of your questions because we're closed down until the hurricane passes." So what can you do? hopefully there's no hurricanes when I have to go down there, because I don't like hurricanes. And yeah, so they said all the embryos are preserved and safe with a generator, so hopefully our little babies are safe and good. And yeah, that's it. So today I am headed for my last medical thing I have to do before I can start the process for the transfer, and it is a pap smear, which seems so basic, but apparently they want your pap smear to be under 2 years old. But recently they changed, not them, but obstetricians in general changed the protocol to only testing women every 5 years doing pap smears if they're under a certain age. So I haven't had one since 2016, so that one is too old, so I have to do another one today. And then I have my second phone consult with the doctor at my clinic next week, and then I think if everything goes well with that we get to stop the birth control pills and start the hormones for preparing for transfer. So yay, we'll see how everything goes. So that went great. Doctor said everything looked good. Get the test results back in a couple days, and that will go over to my clinic in Florida. So yay, on to the very last stage where I consult with the doctor and we set a date for transfer. I'm so excited. Okay, so I am beyond excited right now because I just got off the phone with the transfer director at my clinic, and we actually set up the day that we're going to transfer. And she told me what day I stop taking the birth control pill, what day I start taking estrogen, what day I get my lining scan, what day I start progesterone. And I am so excited. And my doctor was available that day. And she had said she's only there a certain number, 3 days a week. And so she said, if I'm not available on the day that you can fly in, then one of my colleagues will do it. But I really like my doctor that I've been working with, so I'm really excited that she's there that day. And yeah, we just made a plan. We have 5 embryos, and we're going to grow them all out because they were day 2 embryos. They were frozen back in 2013, and back then they didn't have the technology for freezing blastocysts, so they would freeze them a lot earlier. So we'll grow out all 5, and some might not survive, we don't know, but most of them should. But she'll pick the best 1 or 2, and we will implant that. We have not decided if we're going to do 1 or 2 yet, because we really want to talk to an MFM and discuss some risk factors and stuff. And it will also depend on how good the embryos look when they've been grown out. So that's the only thing that's undecided at this point, and I gotta actually buy the plane tickets. But I am so excited, and it's happening next month. And I don't want to tell you the date just because I don't want to jinx it. But it's next month, and it's before Halloween, so there you go. So I am really excited. It feels kind of surreal that this is happening. So because I didn't even know about this 6 months ago, really. I mean, I'd heard about it a little bit on an Adoption Now podcast, but I've learned so much over the last few months, and it just became a reality, and now it's super duper real, and it's happening, and I'm going to be able to carry my own adopted babies, and that's amazing. So I'm really excited to take you guys along on this journey, and yeah, it should be super exciting. Can't wait. I just realized I should explain something. So we're growing out the 5 embryos from 2-day to blastocyst, which is 5-day. But I wanted to clarify that we are not destroying any embryos, and we're not discarding the ones we don't put in this time. They will be refrozen because now there's a lot better technology, so they can refreeze them at the blastocyst stage, which they are it's very little risk to the embryo. So the either 4 or 3 that we do not use this cycle will be refrozen, and they're still ours to use. So if this cycle doesn't take, we can go back and try again. if this cycle does take and in a year or two we want to come back for a genetic sibling, we can do that. So we are doing this because we honor life and we value life and we want to give these babies a chance. We would never dream of destroying embryos. So I mean, there's some they might not survive the thaw, but that's would not be our fault at all, because they just couldn't get to that stage. But we're going to use whatever can be used. And if we didn't use, like say we got pregnant with twins this time and we were like, yeah, we're done, we don't have any more children, then we can redonate them to the same program that we got them through. So they will have they'll be able to have other parents. So I wanted to clarify that, because I realized after this video that after watching it that I wasn't specific about that, and I didn't want people to think we were just going to pick the best embryos and just destroy the rest. Not at all the case. Yeah.
Oh, Judah's gonna get you too.